Hey everyone, my name is Kabi, and today we're gonna watch the game between the Dark and the Light players, nearly at the top Captain League. Currently Mooncloud is already 399 ranking, but when he was playing this game he was slightly lower, like 3.7k I believe, and player 53 sits there in the top captain for quite a bit already. I also believe that we watched a couple of his games in the past, but I can't exactly remember if that was the case on the English channel or probably the Russian one. By the way, I'm not sure if you guys know, but there are the automatically created translation in the subtitles on YouTube. So you can watch the Russian videos with the auto translation if you wanna see more content for War Legends, because I don't really have time to kinda spam with a lot of videos on both languages, but you can at least watch both using the subtitles if you feel. But anyway, today we are watching the game on this map, whatever it's called in English. It seems that it's called the Great Divide, I guess. I can't remember the exact name, but I think it's called that, and we revamped this map quite a bit with adding these bridges. I played one game so far, and I mean after remaking this map, and that was really quite an interesting game. I enjoyed the map. And the weird part about it is that it has the sea farm, but it don't have a lot on the sea apart from that. There is the big chest, and I think that's it. So there's literally nothing more, and it's also very difficult to even assault the enemy base from the water. So it's really a bold decision if you even want to play water on this map, and my conclusion so far is probably the right answer is probably no, that you don't have to play water on this map, and it is rather the ground map, at least in one-on-one. In 2v2 it's probably the different case. I like it. I actually like that we might have the maps playing differently in different modes. But anyway, let's get back to the battle, because player 53 does quite an unusual stuff. He uses a lot of early goons to prevent his enemy to actually go the quick hero, to summon a quick hero. Why is that unusual? Is because many players consider goons understated and under cost efficient, if we may call it that, comparing to the swordsman, and so players don't really feel playing goons. Additionally, because the warsmith exists, because the warsmith really counter the goons, obviously, and if you see an enemy playing Dwarven Forge, you don't really wanna play the goons anymore. But now we see player 53 playing even more of those, at least adding one more goon, having a 5 in total so far. I do that sometimes, but I do it with the Alchemist, and I wonder why player 53 is built so many with the Grok, with the Chieftain. But let's see how it's gonna be played out. So far he had the Warg Riders and also the Workshop. The Workshop is rather an interesting option, because obviously the Warsmith can't hit air, Bombardier can though, but we saw that player 53 delayed the altar, so the Bombardier is not coming to play in the early game. We can't tell like anytime soon, because he already is coming quite soon, but he could have been in the game way earlier. which is not the case. Capturing the chest quickly is not the case either. Player 53 decided to do the elemental first, and then he took the exposed gun and sent it over here. And actually that could be problematic if the Mooncloud decided to play more aggressively. But you could have expected that if he would play Human Monument, right? Then he would have knights. Knights are quick, so you can try sending them over to the enemy chest. Kinda. But if you play Warsmith, Warsmith is slow. They even speak things like, "Don't hurry me up." Something like that, I think. Yeah, I can find the way, the free cell to attack this Warsmith. You really need to maintain units to make sure they can surround the elemental in the positions like that. Alright, so both players maintained the control over the manuals so far. And Varg Riders see the factory. Yeah, every time I see picture like this, I remember that little task I need to make. Oh, actually I think I already made it. So that when you upgrade the factory, it would tell you factory 2, and when you build, it would be factory 1. Currently, in both cases, it will be factory 1, and it's really misleading. I hate that. It's probably not the first priority right now, so it's not gonna be made tomorrow, but I hope it's coming soon. Yeah, it really, sometimes it's hard to realize what's happening. So yeah, like this. So is this factory building or is this factory upgraded? You can't tell. I don't like it. Yeah, so we're gonna change it. Alright, so it is catapult. I think it's quite clear, right? Because it's workshop 2. Totem of Orcs 1, but you can bet it's Totem of Orcs 2, in fact, in 8 seconds to come. And something else. 3 bombers coming into play. Not a thing you see every now and then. Yeah, I think we have a little visual bug with them. Oh, probably not notable. Oh, probably it's already fixed in the latest version that I use. I think it exists in the player's version. Okay, so I could have not mentioned that. But the word already out, so you guys may try bombers, and then you find out what that bug is. It is just visual, by the way. We also made them work better against units, so they automatically split to the different targets when you double tap. I'm not sure if everybody noticed that. I'm gonna make shorts about that later, probably this week. But currently we can see Mooncloud starting an interesting counterattack, because bombers didn't do too many damage. They just destroyed one building. I'm not sure how important that was. I don't feel it was any important. And so far, player makes a great attack with the Varg Riders, leaving Mooncloud with 7 workers so far, which is not that many, that little, by the way, but 4 is really not much. In the meantime, player 53 does good defending. Catapults are good. Varg Riders kinda okay. Micro probably not perfect, because a lot of units was able to retreat, but they're still cut off, so that's fine. Yeah, Warsmith going down 2. Mooncloud down on 25 foot for now. Against 85. Yeah, I'm not sure that's about the bombers. But generally speaking, player 53 is kinda does a good job. Mooncloud invested a lot in the infrastructure. He has all the raised buildings, everything upgraded, even the sanctuary. I like sanctuary, but in the top level of play we sometimes see that players skip sanctuary because they don't really have money for that. Yeah, he decided to add the archers, which you may call understandable because there was aeronauts, but I don't know. If you already have factory, probably you would have just leaned to the bikers. Having options to build either bikers or archers feels great, but it's also expensive. And the higher the level of your opponent is, the more corners you have to cut. Or you just kinda not really die rich, because you're not gonna be rich if you invest everything in the buildings. You're just gonna die. Let's keep it simple. Alright, so player 53 is still down on 3 farms. Citadel 4 is not in the place still. Also, this map, the Great Divide, is quite hard to finish the game off, because there is the high ground, right? And here is the high ground too. Yeah, Paladin does the Paladin things. We added the second bar so that you guys know how many he can, how many damage he can eat. He can tank with the Dome of the Light. The Dome of the Light doesn't make Paladin invulnerable, right? It can just tank some amount of damage. It was really hard to tell previously, but now we added the health bar. Not only the Paladin, but all the shields. We started from fortification actually, but then we decided, we thought like, why don't we go even further? Why don't we add it for Paladin? Why don't we add it for Queen of the Dead active, which gives undead more HP. I'm not sure if you guys watched the video in the Cubby War Legends channel where I showcased the tier 2 heroes. They are not coming into play soon, but still there was a fun game on the internal playtest, so I decided I'd share it with you. And there is Queen with that undead bonus, as well as a couple of other tier 2 heroes too. So quite recommended to watch if you are wondering what's coming to War Legends in the future. Yeah, but what's coming to War Legends right now is that summoning stone that is about to appear. This map is different because there are 3 positions for the summoning stone, but the closest one came into play. Yeah, Mooncloud feels like he has to fight for this. He's doing the great job with these helicopters. Well, I'd call that probably Varg Riders would be the better target. Yeah, but this composition will easily kill Grok. Yeah, but what's coming? A couple of X-Masters. I think that Warsmith are okay against them. Player 53 is about to also steal the enemy chest. It seems that Mooncloud doesn't really think about the chests right now. He's mostly into this Summon and Storm fight, reinforcing with everything he has. Yeah, but X-Master's kinda good against helicopters. Everything dies. Mooncloud is not quick enough to micro his copters so that they deal damage with the crash. Yeah, and it seems that Earth Elemental, or rather Mountain Elemental, is coming to the player's name. Warsmith trying to retreat, not successful with that. Yeah, poor chest, just swimming around. And this elemental decided to take the bottom path. Nobody comes with it. Army decided to take the other path. By the way, in the latest build there is the painted copter. I think it's not in the... Oh, that's somewhat a great... whatever we call it, sabotage scroll. 1 second away from the bombardier, and now you're gonna have it half minute later. Yeah, but I started from the painted helicopters. Now you can easier tell which side copter belongs to. It was hard to tell previously in the team games, so we decided to add it, to add more color to the copter. Base it on the player's feedback. Alright, Mountain Elemental didn't really do too much. Bombardier eventually out. Altar has been repaired. Oh, helicopters do the great job now. Bombardier helps finish the catapults. It seems to me like probably player 53 doesn't have Dark, his main faction. It kind of feels that catapults are too fragile, but I'm not sure, probably. It's just that all the levels are lower now, because with the new economy obviously everybody took a few steps back, right? So everyone are closer to each other right now. Then we will divide again. Who plays more, who pays more, gonna progress a bit faster, but right now everyone are kind of compressed. There's something good in that, also something bad in that, but we had to do it to maintain the game and make it financially stable in the future, so we just must live with it and move on. Yeah, so that's quite a bit a spread now. Actually, probably it's just a rally point, I'm not sure. But anyway, poor Mooncloud, supply capped at 64, while his enemy is up to 112. Literally maxed out. Yeah, and there's even an Apple Tower and even a Rocketeer. Yeah, Bombardier takes the Rocketeer quickly, which is a wise decision, because Rocketeer deals an absurd amount of damage. Rocketeers are crazy, they are really mental. They do the great amount of damage. You cannot ignore Rocketeers. You must take them down for life. An interesting way to use the bombers. I'm not sure why this building. Well, it takes it takes time to build it, that's right. But Mooncloud doesn't even build any units or sharp thorns. Yeah, he can't build the Bombardier, but there is no Hero Felter. I mean Hero Zelter anymore, right? So it's not important. But probably player 53 just enjoys the victory. Yeah. So that's deserved. No questions. Great game out of the Dark player. Also, I think in this game we didn't really see why this map is special or cool, because it was just a straightforward game in the middle section of the map. But still, nice attempts of using bombers. I'm not sure when I watched this that they really worked. I can imagine that from the player's perspective it could feel like that when you win afterwards, but probably Mooncloud just made too many other mistakes. But yeah, bombers successfully took him back, supply capped. I'm not sure. Tell me what you think. And I think at this point I'm gonna wrap it up. So thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.